everybody. Welcome to Drunk Knitter Podcast. I'm your host, Sophia. Welcome to the show. Welcome back. I have been gone for, I think, 2 months now. I've been on a hiatus. Not on purpose, just because Bo has reached the age where he gets incredibly bored and wants to do nothing but sit with me. But I am back. I'm whispering because he's sleeping in the next room. I'm reaching for a cat. There's a cat messing up my whole setup. Look, it's a cat in a shawl. I'm whispering kind of because he's sleeping in the next room, and whenever I try to film, he wakes up. So hopefully you can hear me, and I have a cat hair in my bun. And the number one question I get is, how in the world do I knit with all of these two-legged and four-legged creatures around? Because I have 2 cats, I have a bunny, and I have a dog. So that's 4, count them, 4 pets. And then I have Bo, who is 7 months about, give or take. So I don't know how. I mean, I knitted so much while I was gone. Like, I've been releasing a lot of patterns. If y'all see me on Instagram, Kit Kat. Y'all see me on Instagram, so like I've released like quite a few patterns and everything. I've just been kind of slow on YouTube, but I've been knitting a ton, and everyone always asks me like, how do I get work done? And before, I used to just knit while baby wearing Bo, you know, wearing him in a sling or in a carrier, like how I talked about in the other video, which I'm going to link at the end of this one. And that was great because he was really little. He was a 2-month, 3-month-old peanut, you know? So he didn't really want to do much but sleep in my arms anyway. Oh, there's a big bee trying to come into my window. He didn't want to do much, so it was easy. But then, around 4 or 5 months, he was ready to play nonstop. Like, it's hard because at that age, he can't quite crawl yet and entertain himself. So it was a lot of, okay, what keeps his attention? My cat is destroying my office. I have the door closed and she somehow got locked in here with me. I try to lock her. So, without further ado, this is how I knit with a baby or pets. So first things first, we go outside all the time. Like, we are constantly outside. The pets, the baby, all of us. Everyone gets their flea treatments, their heartworm, whatever they need. And then Bo loves his bouncies. We have 2 of them because I do work from home, and so I need things that will keep his attention. He does tummy time a lot. He does floor time. You know, he sits with me, but he really likes the jumper, and that gives me 20 minutes, which is a good amount of time when we're inside. When we're outside, we can stretch that a little bit longer. Because when babies are outside, they just love to just look around and they hear everything. Even the wind is enough like stimulation for them to be like, oh my goodness. And so I found when I knit outside, I can get so much work done. I think someone's crying. I can get so much work done. And then the beauty of it is, like, we both get our sunshine. He's getting his like enrichment from being outside. It is so flippin' nice. Oh, you know what? I want to knit. Hold on. FYI, I'm knitting a pair of leg warmers for my niece who is around Bo's age. This is a free pattern on Never Not Knitting. I'll link it below. It is not my pattern. She's awesome. She's been around forever, but I digress. So when I'm knitting my leggies or anything like that, I like to knit outside, and that just helps a ton. Now, when it's bad weather or we've just been outside already or it's too hot or what have you, I found knitting on the floor helps so stinking much. My son cannot, like, he can sit up on his own, but he's a little wobbly. So I sit cross-legged and he just sits like against my legs, not really in my lap, but just enough where he can just lean and have some support. And I just throw all of his... I just throw all of his teething toys around him in arm's reach, and then he is able to go in and play. So I have to make sure that I can still keep up my knitting because that's part of my job, and then I also want to make sure that he's still getting enrichment. So I always make sure that he's with me doing something, that we're together, we're talking, we're chit-chatting. And because we're doing all this, I never really knit anything too difficult. Almost everything that I knit, is, it can be charted, but it's not like 3 colors at once. Tried knitting this beautiful fox hat that was 3 colors, and it almost broke me. It was such an easy pattern. I just cannot follow a chart. So if you're knitting with a baby or with hats, even as you can see, okay, I have one single 5-pound cat in here, and she's distracting the heck out of me already. And but as you can see, it's a struggle, okay? Don't lick my hand. In case you forgot, this is Khaleesi, aka Sassy Kitty, and she is a butt. So pick patterns that are super simple, super easy. Shameless plug, I got some for you right here that I knitted with bow, and it works. So here's a set of leggies. I already have a set that I've completed, and I have no idea where they go. These are just baby leggings. I'll post pictures of all this stuff on him or whoever is wearing them. And what I like about these is that they fit, bless you, they fit until they're 3 years old. It's a free pattern by Never Not Knitting. It's super simple. You just make some, I think it's like about 9-inch total tubes, and then it'll stretch on baby legs. Like, he started wearing them at 3 months, and they're a little bit big, and now they fit perfectly. I really love these for mornings and evenings in the summertime, because he could wear like his onesie around the house, or if the AC is too chilly, he can throw these on. You don't have to take them off for diaper changes. It's fabulous. Another pattern that I really like knitting, like distracted knitting when you have, a puppy. Even knitting with Aria when she was a youngin', we got her, I think she was 3 months. It was crazy knitting with her because she wasn't potty trained and she loved to get into everything. Our house looked like an office supply store, like exploded in it, because she would find any bit of paper, any pen, water bottles, anything, pull them off countertops, pull them off out of the trash, anything, and rip them up or hide them around the house. So it was like having a toddler. Like, we were attached to that puppy for like a good couple of months. So these are some good patterns for anyone that has to do distracted knitting, especially nowadays when we're all stuck inside. So here's another pattern. This is my own design. This is called the baby shawl. Mine's actually a little stained because he had applesauce, and applesauce oxidizes apparently if you're not quick to rinse it out, so don't do what I did. But these are baby shawls. I knitted so many of them. You can knit them in an afternoon. And what I like about the baby shawl, this one I didn't weave in my end too well, but what I like about them is they are secured with a giant bobble. So what that means is that there's no button that can fly off. Your baby can chew on it, and then it won't be like a choking hazard. That's the one thing with knitting bibs is the button. The babies love to chew on their bibs, and even though it's behind their neck, once they're 3 or 4 months, they start pulling on things. It can get in their mouth. So I really like using the bobble closure. It's a little like trickier to get on than a button. You just have to get used to it. But I mean, I did it fast, you saw. But the beauty of it is that they can pull, and it's not gonna fall off. But it's not so hard that it can't pull off with a little bit more force. It reminds me of like the safety collars that I put on my cats. With just enough force and you can really pull it out. See? So it's pretty good. I really like it. But he can't pull it off. And it's a really quick knit. I love these for like quick gifts. If someone's having a baby and you don't have time, or you don't have a ton of yarn, this takes like scraps. I think it takes like 30 yards or 40 yards of like scrap cotton yarn. So I like using, this is a side note, but I like using sugar and cream because it's very washable, it's sturdy, it's not too like hard, it's still kind of soft. and it's really durable. This is just sugar and cream. I get the cones. It's like $7 for a cone, and you would literally have it for a lifetime if you buy a few of them, because like it just, you know, it's a really long-lasting amount of yarn. It's like a few thousand yards, and you don't tend to make like whole garments out of this type of yarn. This yarn is for washcloths and scrubbies, and I made a bath mat out of mine, things like that. So that's just sugar and cream scrap yarn bits. And this is great distracting knitting. It's literally shawl shaping for a bib. I think it's a brilliant idea. I don't know. I'll put that pattern down below. And then, let's see. Oh, these bucket hats. Now, I can't remember who they're by. I think they're by Fox Knitting or Fox Run Knits or something. But these baby bucket hats are, okay, they look really unassuming, but they are such a quick knit. They're really clean knit too. What I mean by that is that, see how the inside just looks really nice? It's a double brim, so it keeps all the sun out. And it's a bucket hat, so it keeps the sun out of their eyes. And it's so adorable. You can add a drawstring into it. Of course, I am really bad at weaving into ends. Gee, I wonder why, because someone's always on my lap. But anywho, you can make an I-cord drawstring, which is completely optional, but I love that because I knitted the hat about a size or two bigger, so that way I can just use a drawstring and he can use it for a summer or two, like over this summer, and then hopefully beginning of next summer he can still fit into it when I take the drawstring out. I made this one out of cotton. This is Knit Picks Comfy. It's a cotton acrylic blend. And then this one is Superwash. Oh, it's inside out maybe? This one is Superwash Merino that I hand spun myself. It's a 2-ply. And the original pattern, she made hers out of wool, because wool is pretty temperature regulating, you know, so it shouldn't be super duper hot. And I just really love these for the sun. It's just really nice. I haven't washed this one yet, that's why it looks kind of like janky. But this one has been blocked on his head for like ever. And it's just a really clean design. You know, sometimes I knit things and I'm like, I wish I designed this. It looks unassuming, it doesn't look super cute, and then when they wear it, it is adorable. And honestly, he wears this thing every day. Shout out to Knit Picks Comfy. It's, you know, it definitely has some wear on it for sure. It can use a good shave, but it held up really great. I wash and dry this at least once a week. Like, at least once a week. Can you believe that? And it doesn't look too bad. So, and then another great distracted knitting with kids, knitting with cats. Where is my cat? She's being too quiet. Khaleesi? She's sleeping by the AC. So, here's some more distracting knitting. Ready? Look at this. Oh, hold on. Look at that. This is called A Good Friend Shawlette. I absolutely love this shawlette because I have broad shoulders. I also have like a 38 bust. So what that means is that shawls tend to be kind of tiny on my shoulders, and I can't really wear them unless they're a giant shawl that takes a ton of time. It might not be practical for warmer weather. So what I really like about this shawl is that it's long enough that I can wrap it around, but it still has that shawlette look, and it doesn't quite fall off my shoulders, and I could wear it like this, or I could wear it like a cape. Oop. Or dress, and it has like a little bit of ruffle to it. It's like a ruffle edge with some eyelet just to add some drama. And see how it just falls? That's that ruffle for you. It's not a lot of ruffle, but it's just enough where it looks really cute, in my opinion. So this is A Good Friend. It's tested, it's ready to go. It should be on Ravelry by the time this is up. If not, I will update the link below so that way y'all can get the download. This takes 2 skeins of DK weight yarn, and it is knitted with yoke shaping, not shawl shaping, yoke shaping. So circular yoke shaping, seamless. It's knitted like a sweater, and what I like about that is that it comes in sizes for your bust. So that way it will always be proportional to the wearer. So whether you have a 56 size bust or a 62 bust or a 30 bust, it will fit you really well. Because what I dislike about shawlettes is that they don't have that great fit, you know, so I never wear them. Like, they just sit, you know. I even ripped out a few and made it into a sweater just because I just can't wear them, you know. I just have shoulders, you know. I lift up babes all day, and I don't know, I always just had shoulders, which is fine, but I like to wear shawlettes too, and I'm sure I'm not the only one with that problem. And it's just a great way to use up some scrap yarn. I mean, I use scrap yarn for this edging, but you don't have to do a color edging. I just did because I really liked it. I chose the name A Good Friend for this design because I knitted it while I re-listened to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and which is honestly one of my favorite fantasy trilogies ever. I've read them so many times I cannot count. I watched the movies many times, and I listened to that while I knitted it, and it was just wonderful book knitting. If you didn't have a baby or tons of naughty cats and dogs, you could read it while you knit if you're into that types of stuff, because this design, it's mostly just stockinette with some really easy eyelet and a really easy ruffle. It goes super fast, but it's also really satisfying, and I think it came out really pretty and a really versatile shawl. So remember, key points with knitting with a baby, okay? Knit outside, knit on the floor with them. Pick easy knits, don't pick difficult charts. Learn from my mistake. I had to rip out. Oop, he's awake. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah. So go have fun distracted knitting. I'm gonna go help my husband with bow. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.